Hello, this is Zahirul Alam. Welcome you all on Frankly Speaking. Today's guest is Mr. Sanjib Mehta, outgoing chairman and managing director of Unilever Bangladesh Limited, UBL, who had been appointed as the chairman and CEO of Unilever Philippines. Dear viewers, Unilever Bangladesh Limited, the leading consumer goods company which established at Kalurghat in Chittagong in 1964 as subsidiary of Unilever. The Bangladesh government holds 39%, while the London and Rotterdam-based Anglo-Dutch company Unilever holds the rest 61% of the shares of UBL. In 2004, Lever Brothers Bangladesh Limited had been renamed Unilever Bangladesh Limited by changing its long corporate identity. Let's welcome Mr. Sanjib Mehta.
Thank you, Zahir. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay. Mr. Mehta, you have been serving in Bangladesh for more than 8 years, and under your tenure, your leadership, we know that the Unilever Bangladesh Limited have been consistently achieving double-digit growth. So would you explain, would you tell us, share your experience, working experience in Bangladesh?
Extremely enriching, extremely satisfying, and we have a great set of people working for us, and we have a great set of brands. So the people, brands, and the capabilities put together make a very heady mix and a very potent combination. And I think this, together with the opportunities which a land of 140 million people offers, has resulted in Unilever Bangladesh being one of the fastest growing businesses for Unilever in Asia. Over my 8 years in Bangladesh, we have, on a compounded rate, delivered more than 17% growth every year. And in the last 2 years, we have crossed 20%.
I see. So what will be your next expectations in terms of growth rate and
for Unilever Bangladesh? Yeah, very clear. The potential is still huge. The markets are still nascent, the penetration levels are still low, the consumption levels are still low, and as the country progresses, as the per capita GDP goes up, I would believe that Unilever Bangladesh, with its distinct capabilities, can maintain the double-digit growth rate for the next 8 years at least.
So what do you guess? It will be 21% or 22%?
See, I wouldn't like to guess on a precise figure.
Okay.
But this year we have ended with 21%. Yeah? And this year, like as all of us know, is the situation on the ground, especially in the last quarter, has not been very conducive for business. Right. Yeah, despite that, we have delivered 21% growth. I would believe if the conditions on the ground were much better, we as a business would have done better.
So how do you look at the situations? You know, there a lot of damage inflicted during the last confrontational political scenario. So how do you look at these situations, our political situation?
See, at the end of the day, is for a business, one of the most important thing is a stable environment. And stable environment is really conducive for growth and conducive for development. It's important for public sector as well as private sector.
Yeah. Just convinced that it was categorically very unconducive, the situations during the last year.
You know, let's accept it. When there are hartals, is when the business comes to a standstill, when the distribution comes to a standstill, when the shops remain closed, there are a lot of people in the country who are daily wage earners. Their wages comes down. It does impact the business. It certainly impacts the business. And it also impacts the confidence of the business in the country.
Is it declining gradually?
See, I'm also a firm believer. I'm a very optimist person. And I also have a lot of faith in the resilience of Bangladeshis. Over my 8 years, I have seen often this kind of situation on the ground. I've also seen natural calamities. Yeah, the 2004 flood. There are many nations which would have buckled under. But the people of the country are so resilient that they bounce back. So I don't think that this would have an enduring impact.
Okay.
Provided, of course, the stability comes in. If stability comes in, I believe that the businesses will bounce back very strongly.
So what are the other bottlenecks other than political unrest? What did you find in terms of what are the bottlenecks others?
See, I look at it as challenges. Now, let's accept it that Bangladesh is a developing country. And as any developing country, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be challenges about infrastructure. There are going to be challenges about archaic laws. There are going to be challenges about corruption. There are going to be challenges about talent. Now, all these challenges are bound to be. It's not unique to Bangladesh. It is unique to most developing countries. But the important bit is that despite the challenges, despite the issues, which many people would take as impediments, the country still grows. You know, if you look at it, Bangladesh over the last 10 years has grown in the vicinity of 5% every year. There has been macroeconomic stability. The country has never reached a stage where it has defaulted on its external obligations. Inflation has been contained. Yeah. So to me, these are huge number of positives.
Positive signs.
So I would rather look at positives than get dwarfed or rather get pulled down by the challenges that you see.
But you cannot ignore the port facilities, the bureaucratic problems, the corruption issues.
Absolutely. You cannot ignore them. But at the same time, these are not issues which can be sorted out in 1 year.
So you're optimistic that the damage inflicted into the economy, the strength of the economy. So the post-election, the next government will be covering up the problems, the damages has been.
See, I would not be able to comment whether the government will cover up. I would like it to be covered. Yeah, the country needs stability. The country needs good governance. And if good governance coupled with political stability comes in and the institutions of democracy gets deep-rooted, then it will create an enabling environment where the business can flourish and blossom.
Yeah, Mr. Mehta, we mentioned that you have changed your corporate identity in 2004. So, what is strategy behind your company's plan to when you change your corporate identity?
Yeah. See, very importantly is Unilever, if we go back to the history, was an amalgam of two institutions. One was Lever Brothers, which was a UK-based company, and the other was Unimargarine, which was a Dutch-based company. These two companies, way back in 1930s, they joined together to form Unilever.
Okay.
Now, historically, depending on who was the origin of your business, you were either called as Lever Brothers, if the origins go back to the British arm, or you had names like Vandenberg Foods, etc., where the names went back to the Dutch arm. In recent times, Unilever has realized that it is very important to tell the consumers all over the world that all these great brands that we have in our portfolio come from one house called Unilever.
Okay.
So we took a very overt step of changing our corporate identity to Unilever Bangladesh and aligning it to global Unilever Bangladesh.
Mr. Mehta, we'll talk more on your company strategy, your programs, your approach to the market, and about your social commitment. Our guest is Mr. Sanjib Mehta, outgoing chairman and managing director of Unilever Bangladesh Limited. Mr. Mehta, we're talking about your business strategy, and we know that you have won many awards for your customer development program, your distribution management, and in many others you have recognized. And you must have a very aggressive policy in Bangladesh of expanding your business.
Absolutely. We are very clear that Bangladesh offers huge potential, right, and we are here to tap that potential and harness that potential.
But you have 15 brands in your product lineup, you know, and I can mention some of them, that you have some washing powder, shampoo and toothpaste, laundry, bath soaps, skincare products and tea. And you always claim that you provide world-class product at affordable prices to the people of Bangladesh. But at the same time, some complaints are also there. some people says, is it mere slogan and you do not maintain international standard? Comparing to the international standard, your products is not commensurate with international quality. What do you say?
See, I won't agree with this statement. As Unilever, we subscribe very clearly to the standards that we talk about, is making a global mixes. We bring in the global mixes, we adapt it to the local conditions, and ensure that we make it affordable to the people. When we talk about making it affordable, it could be through the pack sizes and through the different packaging formats. But the quality of the product, even if it is in a 1 taka sachet, is as good as the product that you find in a bottle or a big box. Yeah. Does it mean that we will never have product complaints? It would never happen like that. There would be instances where a product may get damaged in transit, while in storing in various places, it being mishandled. Yeah. But what we do is, as corporate citizens, we are very conscious of it. And whenever there is a complaint, we thoroughly investigate, get down to the root causes, and take steps to correct the situation. To us, the confidence of the consumers, confidence of our Bangladeshi consumers is the most valuable asset. And that is something which we will never let down our consumers.
Okay, Mr. Mehta, Unilever, we know that Unilever Bangladesh paying huge duty, taxes, dividends during the last years. So can you mention about the amount you are paying to the government in terms of dividend or tax? And one more thing, your huge provides a huge employment to Bangladesh market. Would you explain something about the employment opportunities, employment prospect of the young generation here?
See, first is on the duties, taxes and dividend. We are one of the largest contributor to the government exchequer. And last year we had contributed over 250 crores. 250. Yeah. And this year, assuming we have grown by over 20%, is this amount should be crossing 300 crores.
Good.
So it's a large sum of money. And for us, contributing to the government is not just a duty, we deem it to be an honor. Yeah. Coming back to employment generation, yes, as a large corporation, business today, our enterprise, the goods and values, the goods and services, if we evaluate it, is over 1,200 crores. And we are a large employer. If you look at it from a perspective as to how many
people working in you?
If you were to look at it from a perspective of how many people earn their livelihood exclusively from Unilever operations, then they would cross 11,000.
11,000?
Yeah. So, you know, it is not just who are directly employed by us, it is our distributors people, our dedicated suppliers. We also have now women working in selling our products in deep rural areas. We have Polliduts or rural ambassadors who work exclusively for us, service providers. These are all dedicated and exclusive. So we have more than 11,000 people.
Pretty good number of people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But do you export your product to in the outside world?
We do. It's not a very large quantity of exports. Our brief is primarily the domestic market, but we do export products to Pakistan and Sri Lanka, and some to India as well. But what we are really looking at as an opportunity is if the relationship with India, economic relationship were to improve, is Bangladesh could become a feeder point for Unilever's operations in Northeast Asia, in northeastern India, northeastern part of the country.
That is a very good potential market.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. But we know that, Mr. Mehta, you do have some social commitment also. So would you explain what type of programs you have undertaken?
See, as a corporate citizen, we have a certain philosophy. And the way we look at it is the impact of our business on the society would be in three types, if we really, 3 dimensions. First is the impact of our direct operations, which is the employment we generate, the taxes we pay, the ethics, the quality of products, etc. Then the second dimension is the impact we have through the value chain. how we develop the capabilities of our distributors, how we bring the products onshore, how we develop the ancillary industries, the safety, how do we control the environment in our manufacturing processes, etc., which is again a huge dimension. On the tip of the iceberg, what I call it, is our voluntary initiatives. Yeah? Often people confuse corporate philanthropy with CSR. Yeah? For us, CSR is a much more holistic view. And so far as the
what stands for CSR?
Corporate social responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah, is for us, corporate social responsibility, like I said, is through 3 dimensions. And if we were to look at it from a voluntary initiative perspective, we focus our efforts in 3 areas: health, education and talent, and women's empowerment. And for instance, just to expand on this, health, we have an extensive rural health awareness program where we cover millions of rural folk every year, treating them, making them aware of health and hygiene issues. Then we have a dental awareness program where we cover thousands of school children every year, is teaching them about oral health care. Then we have a Lifebuoy floating hospital. It's a Lifebuoy Friendship Hospital, which is essentially operating in the northern part of the country, which is taking basic health care to people in the Char areas. And many of them have not seen a doctor in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have a very extensive program with Mother and Children Hospital in Chittagong. We have set up an operation theatre for them, wards for them, and as we speak, we have foreign instructors come into the hospital to train the nurses, because we believe that the nursing care in the country needs to be upgraded. So that's what is happening, sponsored by us. So far as education and talent is concerned, we have sponsored a school in Banani where the poor children go. Poor children who, had we not sponsored the school, would not have got an opportunity to study. Yeah, they are children from the slum areas. Then we have higher education scholarship. We have IT scholarships. We have scholarship with Chevening, with the British High Commission. And now we are also entering into an agreement with Asian University for Women, where we'll be providing scholarships.
Oh,
yeah?
That's a good
Then it comes to the talent area. We also have been doing a lot of initiatives in talent, be it on musical talent, which is covered through a program, very popular program called Close Up One.
Close Up One, yeah.
Which we partner with NTV. And then we also have, for example, we had Surf Excel Pratibha Lorai, where we look at developing the talent of school children. We also look at the, from a talent perspective, we have a program on which has been sponsored by a brand, Lux. So we look at it that how can we build the talent within the country in various fields. And the last one is women's empowerment. Ours is a company where a lot of our consumers are women. And we firmly believe that the progress of the society would be hampered if half the society is not given adequate opportunities to grow, blossom, and develop themselves. Keeping this in perspective, we set up Fair and Lovely Foundation with a very specific intent to empower, to help empower the women in the country. And we have been carrying out series of initiatives under that. It is vocational training, both in the rural areas, both in the urban areas. It is educational, it is scholarships, it is IT training, all with the focus of empowering the less privileged women. So our focus is in these 3 areas. And what we do is, to ensure that they are sustainable, we link it back to our brands as far as possible, so that there is continuity and there is sustainability.
So do you have any plan to expand your, say, social programs?
We keep doing that. We keep doing that. But what we would also want to do is keep our thrust in these 3 areas. You know, there would always be a temptation to get into newer areas. But these 3 areas itself offers such a huge opportunity to engage with the society that rather than get into new areas, we'd rather focus on these 3 areas.
You don't have to. But what amount you allocated for this last year?
You know, it's very important is we don't look at budgeting a specific amount. For every brand, whenever we are building our strategies, we ask ourselves a question: how can we engage with the society? In all our initiatives, we look at it fine, if we are doing this, is there something where we can make a difference to the society? And if it is worth it, we spend the money irrespective of what the amount is. So, you know, the important bit to, which I would like to point out is engaging with the society is not something which we superimpose on a business. No. We have made engaging with the society an integral part of a business. Yeah, so it's got in a DNA of a business. And that's what we try to do. And I would believe that this has played a critical part in building the reputation of Unilever Bangladesh as one of the most admired companies in the country.
One last question, Mr. Mehta. What going to be your lasting memories, what you're taking back home? Or
amazing memories. 8 years, it's been very fulfilling. We have developed some lasting friendships, lasting relationships. My children have grown here. We have 2 daughters, and they were 4 years old when we came to Bangladesh. And now they're young ladies, 12 years old, getting into teens. So we've seen them grow over here. So great memories, great friends, and also very importantly, a fabulous business. I have a business where it's a business today which is not only a pride of Bangladesh, but which Unilever globally calls Unilever Bangladesh as a jewel. Yeah, we have raised the self-esteem of our people. We have proved to the world that Bangladeshis, given an enabling environment, can do as well as any other people in any other country. So these are going to be lasting memories.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanjib Mehta.
Thank you very much.
We wish you very good luck in the days ahead.
Thank you very much.